Hello everyone, welcome back to SwitchUp. This is the video where we recap the best scores for all of our reviews across Switch 1 and 2 for the last month, which was August.
Yep, this was a month where the Switch 1 made a bit of a resurgence, having had a couple of months where the Switch 2 was the focus of attention, and we've got, well, technically 8 games, but 7 certainly, that we'll run through, worst score up to best.
So what were they? Well, let's find out.
Okay, the reason I said 8 is because we did review House of the Dead 2, the remake. I'm not going to officially include it in this list because it scored quite badly, but it is a review that's on the channel if you want to give it a watch. Yeah, at the minute, without any patches, not one that's really worth your time, I'm afraid.
Then we had WWE 2K25, which was the first WWE game I played on a Nintendo console.
Yep.
Since the disaster that was 2K, I think it was 18?
Yeah, the slideshow edition.
Yeah, it was very slow-mo. And weirdly, it actually looked all right. It was just in slow motion.
Yeah.
That actually plays all right now on Switch 2. So there is that option if you wanted to save yourself some money. This one has all of the new wrestlers. It has this new feature called The Island that's basically an MMO that has you create your own wrestler. And then you go onto the island and you battle other people. It feels a little bit like what Capcom did with the Street Fighter game.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, the World Tour mode, yeah.
Exactly that. But I just disliked the amount of selling in it.
Yeah, that seems to be a 2K staple, doesn't it?
The island is a shopping centre.
Yeah.
And it's like got Nike and all these things, but even things like a haircut. You go in for a haircut and it costs you, if you want to actually earn that money, the equivalent of like 100 fights.
Wow, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, so from that angle, it's rubbish, but from the angle of the pure wrestling and the amount of game modes and ignoring the island, it's actually a really solid wrestling game. That one got a SwitchUp score of 74%.
Okay, moving in at number 6 now, and this is a Switch 1 game, one that I know you were very pleasantly surprised by. This is Tiny Bookshop.
Yeah, it seems I'm not the only one that was pleasantly surprised by it. That review's got like 180,000 views, which for a Switch 1 game you just don't expect these days.
You don't. There always seems to be these games that just have an audience, albeit a niche audience, but they come in their droves and they find these reviews.
Yeah, absolutely. It turned out to be a really interesting and quite cathartic game because you ran your little tiny bookshop out of this little trailer. You could decorate it and stuff, but all of the books that you gradually got, because you had to go to like flea markets and stuff and purchase them, they were books that you knew. So you'd have your Lord of the Rings, your Lord of the Flies, and then you try and match those to specific customers. Yeah, really relaxing game.
Yeah, I like the fact it uses real books.
Same.
It's just, I don't know, it just adds so much more, I think, to the game.
I do. I think without that, actually, it would have lost quite a lot. So yeah, overall, that one got a SwitchUp score of 78%.
Okay, in 5th place then, this is a Switch 2 game, this one. This is Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar.
Yeah, this is, as Glen says, a Switch 2 game. Fully fledged, although I love what they did with the physical edition. So the physical Switch 2 game will run on a Switch 1 without any issue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it has the full Switch 1 on the cartridge.
Is that a first?
It's a first.
It's like a first, yeah.
Yeah,
nice.
I specifically mentioned in the review, marvellous. It is marvellous.
It is marvellous, yeah.
They're just crushing it.
Yeah.
The way that they're treating physical on Switch 2 has been amazing. So yeah, has the full game depending on, which one you go for. But the actual game itself, I did enjoy it as a remake of a DS game, wasn't it?
It was, yes, that's right.
And for me, that showed, and it felt like you have the two camps. There were the people that just wanted a remake of that, and then any additions they were really happy with. And then there's me who didn't play the original, but could see that they actually changed most of the gameplay mechanics, and then wondered why they hadn't changed other things. Yeah. It's a good game. It's just Farm Sim 101. It didn't really inspire me, I have to be honest, but I still enjoyed it.
Fair enough. That one got a SwitchUp score of 82%.
Next up, there's Discounty, which was one of the other Switch 1 games to perform really well. This is a shop simulator. So you run a shop by day. You got old Miss Goggins comes in, to purchase whatever it is she purchases each day. You place orders and then they get delivered to your shop at different times. And then you're stacking shelves. You had to go on this, didn't you?
I did, yes. It's one of those games where if someone explains it to you, it might not, A, make sense, B, sound particularly interesting. But then you get into it, and as you say, you run your shop by day and there's other bits going on in the town by night, and you'll venture out and whatnot and pick up other bits for the shop. And it does have that nice addictive gameplay loop to it.
Yeah, trying to keep those shelves stacked, and then you unlock like scanners and rotation, and they've patched it a couple of times as well, because we did notice a few little glitches with the scanning.
Yeah, some of it was a bit awkward, but it's nice to hear it's been patched already. That's always good. And yeah, it was a good fun game, and a nice kind of charm to it as well, didn't it?
Absolutely. That one got a SwitchUp score of 83%.
Right, into the top 3 now, and the first of those, in third place of course, is Ninja Gaiden Ragebound.
I love this. This was probably one of my tops for the month, for the last couple of months, really.
Yeah, this is one of those games where if you were to ever review a game on pure gameplay alone, it would have scored higher. The gameplay section did score very high, but it did have some technical issues on the Switch 1. Obviously, it's a Switch 1 game that just brought the score down a tad. Playing it on the Switch 2, it was a bit better, and if you're looking to play it on the Switch 2, this score could probably jump up a couple more points, but it still scored very well anyway, just because it's so fluent. And that's what you want, for me at least, in a ninja game,
Yeah, that fluidity really does help. So you're just constantly on the move, constantly dealing with different enemies, and they have kind of unique ways of dealing with them. So there's one that like flips itself below the tree branch, and you have to almost mimic it to be able to kill him, otherwise he always catches you with a hit. And others as well, there's a really quick one. I think you have to like jump over him, and then you can only kill him by hitting him in the back. So that enemy design and the levels as well, yeah, really good. And some stages that weren't just on foot.
Yes, there were. It kind of not borrowed, but it obviously taken inspiration from games that had followed on from the years when Ninja Gaiden was first a thing. And it is a series, to be fair, that has kind of evolved over time, almost devolved. I don't mean that in a negative way, but obviously it's gone into 3D, it's gone back into 2D. But this is a very good game. It's just that performance lets it down a tad, but it got a SwitchUp score of 87%.
In a similar vein, really, we then have Shinobi Art of Vengeance, which I think you felt was a little different to the older games.
Yes, I would say that the Ninja Gaiden game felt more like a Ninja Gaiden game than this feels like a Shinobi game. This reminded me a little bit of something like Guacamelee.
Yeah.
With like large expansive levels, not exactly a Metroidvania, but you could argue its point to a degree, getting locked in and having to fight enemies. But because of that, it didn't have the fluidity of the previous game. Not a negative, but just worthy of mentioning.
Yeah, but I mean, I haven't played as much as you, but it's not a slouch, is it?
No, it's not at all. But it's more about, there's more exploration.
Yeah.
There's times where you're having to work out sequences of hitting switches.
Yes.
And then moving on. Then you'll get locked in and have to fight enemies. So it's just a slower paced game compared to the previous. I'll be honest, in terms of pure gameplay, I preferred Ninja Gaiden. But in terms of the overall package, this one does better on that front, while still having a couple of issues of its own.
Which team was this?
So this is Sega in terms of the IP, but it was Lizard Cube that developed it.
Nice, the team that did Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap.
And they were partly involved in Streets of Rage 4, and you can see that in the art style this time round. The couple of flaws I mentioned, there were some performance issues. Now I say that there was a day one patch, so obviously as a reviewer reviewing it pre-launch, they were there, but that patch hopefully has negated a lot of those issues. And it's a huge amount of fun to play, a lot to do as well.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Because reviewing or playing that Simon the Sorcerer, the new game that's coming out the other day, I was looking through the games, the past 5 games, and you saw them jump on the bandwagon of different tech. So you had like Simon the Sorcerer 3D, looked like absolute, like it was terrible.
Yeah.
And then you had like another Simon the Sorcerer that went even more 3D, but it had like cell shaded look, but it didn't look great. And a lot of these are coming back to what is the best way of doing them, is 2D.
Yeah, for sure. Now I have played some of this since launch on the PS4, and on there's an improvement. I haven't played it on the Switch since the patch.
Yeah.
So if anyone has, please do feel free to mention how it performs now in the comments section. But that one got a SwitchUp score of 90%.
Coming in number 1 then, we've got Turbo Kid, which is based on a film from a Canadian studio. It's like a post-apocalyptic. You got this kid who lives on his own, who bases his life on, I think it's Turbo Man or something.
Okay.
Something like that's his comic book he lives with.
Right.
And then he meets this lady, and something happens in the town, and they have to go on this big quest. But it has a cracking soundtrack. Did we watch this yet?
No, we didn't watch it. You did play me some of the soundtrack though. It's that classic synth, isn't it? Yeah.
It's lovely. It really is. We need to watch it. It's got Michael Ironside as the villain. I mean,
Oh, nice.
what else would
What do you want?
Yeah, exactly. But the game, it feels like the team really did care a lot about the IP, you know, from the soundtrack to the way it's written. It's a Metroidvania where you're on a bike. Weirdly, we've had a couple of those in the last few months.
We have, funny enough, yeah, yeah.
And it really handles well, but it scored so highly because every part of the Metroidvania was done so well, combined with the soundtrack and a lovely pixel art style.
Yeah.
It got a SwitchUp score of 91%.
So there we have it. That's another month of Nintendo Switch and Switch 2 releases and their scores, of course. Are there any games that came out that you bought and enjoyed that we didn't review, and what sort of score would you have given them? Please do stick it all in the comment section.
Lovely. If you want to save yourself any money on any of these, you can get 5% on your eShop credit over at switchup.gg.
Thank you to our patrons and our channel members for your continued support, and to each and every one of you for watching our videos. Take care, and until next time, happy gaming.